Okay, right. So the first thing which I would do is I'll get express. I will say where app equals to require express. So what I got is a reference to express, right? Then I am simply saying app.listen will take some port, say 3000, right? And a callback function, and here I'll just give an input or a console log. I would say console.log listening on 3000, right? So this is fairly simple, right? Now what I would do is I'll have an array. So I'll say where arr equals to, and I'll have a blank array. Right, now this array does not have anything in it. It is a blank array. Next, what I am going to do is I'll write say a get request handler via which the contents of this array would be returned. Right, that's what I would do. Now I would assume that this would be a JSON array going forward. Right, so I'll write the get request. I am saying app.get, right, not length, it is get. I'll give a path slash get all, right? Then a callback function with two parameters, request and response, right? And in this, what I would say is I would say response dot send, and I would pass ARR, right? I'll run this. I would say node index.js. So it should print me listening on 3000. Now, what I'll do is I'll go to Postman, and from Postman, instead of get array, I would call get all, and I will click send. So what I get is a blank array, right? Nothing is there. So what I got is a blank array. Now let's suppose that we have to add some data to this array, right? And that would be a JSON data. Let us assume that we are adding, say, students. So this is an array of students. So I'll just rename it. I'll call it student array. And here I would say response.send student array. Now to add the data or to send the data to the server, what I need to do is I'll be sending the data via Postman. Right? And I would be pushing that data inside this array. That's what I am going to do, right? And then when I do a get all, I should see that data, right? So for that, I would write handler for post. So I would say app.post, right? I'll give a path, say add student. Then I would say request comma response, and in this what I would do is I would say let data or let d equals to request dot body, and I would simply say student arr dot push d. So what this is going to do is this would simply add whatever data is coming, and we would safely assume that the data which is coming would be in JSON format. So that is our requirement. So what this would do is this would simply push the data, that is the JSON data, in this student array. Right, now to enable this thing, JSON request and response, what we need is another package called as body parser. So I'll give where body p equals to, I would say require, right, and name of the package is body dash parser, and I would say app.use body p dot JSON, right? This JSON is a function. What this thing ensures is that the data which is coming to us, it is in JSON format. That is what it ensures, right? So this thing would complete basic CRUD operation of ours. CRUD operation means to add a new student and to display all the students, right? We have these two functionalities, and both the functionalities, they are against different paths, right? So for this is a post request, and in this post request we would need some body, that is some data which would be sent via Postman. So let's see that. So I'll create a new request here. In get, I would say post, right? I'll give the path here, http colon localhost colon 3000 slash add student, right? I hope this is my path, add student. Yes, I'll restart my server as well. Okay, now to send the data in Postman, right, you need to go in this body tab. In body, you need to select this raw, and here instead of text you need to select JSON, and here you need to provide a JSON here, right? So in that JSON I started again with curly braces, right? And inside these curly braces what I would do is I would give the keys. So I would say ID, say 1, then I would give name for the name of a student, say Gandhar, then I would give surname, I would call Patvardhan, then I can give office, and I would say S2P, EduTech. Right, so this is my data. See, giving inverted commas to the keys is mandatory in this case, right? If you do not do that, this Postman will give you an error. See, it gave you an error, right? It says bad string. So, giving inverted commas is a compulsion in case of Postman, right? And I will click on send. But before sending, what I would again like to do is in my get request, which is here, I'll close this. Yes, in my get request, I would click get all. So in get all, I got the blank array. Why did I get the blank array? Because my array is blank and we have never executed this push, right? So to execute this push, I would be sending this data. So I click on send, right? Now in this send, there is an issue that it is hanging here. Why is it hanging? Because we are not returning anything, so we are not giving any kind of response here, right? So what I'll do is I'll cancel this request, and here I would say response.send, and in this I would send back a JSON. In this JSON I would say, let's say message, and I would say added successfully. So what I am returning is a message, right, but a JSON. I'll restart this. Now if I click on send here, I should get message added successfully. And if I do a get request now, I should get that data. So what I got is an array, right? And inside that array, I got the data which I pushed, right? Please keep in mind that there is no database involved as of now. What we are playing with is an array, right? So the moment you restart your server, the data in this array would be gone. The moment you restart your server, right? Because it is not persistent data, it is just temporary data, and it would persist only till this server is running, right? If the server stops, this data is all vanished. That is the reason we have database, and going forward we would connect to our MySQL for that, right? Next what I'll do is I'll add another student. So I'll say 2, and I can give some name. I can say Anaga. In surname I can say Venu, and office let me keep S2B, and I'll click on post. So what I got is message added successfully, and if I do a send, I should get 2 elements in my array. One is Gandhar, one is Anaga, right? I say 3, I give Shubhanshu, I change the surname to Pandey, right? I click on send, and if I say get all, I get 3 elements, right? That is 3 students. That is what I got. Now the moment I restart the server, right, this data which we have added is vanished, or it will be vanished. So what it means is that once I restart the server, before doing any post request, if I do a get all request, right, it will send me a blank array. That is what it means. So I do a control C, I again run it, and if I do a get all, entire data is gone. So what it means is that this is temporary data and it would stay only and only till your server is running. Once your server stops, this data would be vanished. And this is where a database comes into picture. Why? Because a database permanently would store your data unless you explicitly delete that. Here, even though we are not explicitly deleting the data, still it gets vanished. Right? Now next is, what I'll do is, let us say that if I want uh, let's say if I want all my students to be arranged in ascending order of their names. So we know that there is a sorting functionality in JavaScript, that sort function, right? So let me write another get request. I'll say app.get. I would say sort by name, and I would say again request response. And in this, what I would do is, now what I need is, I need this data to be sorted, right? So how to apply sort? I would say student ARR dot sort. Inside sort, it takes a callback function with two parameters, let's say a comma b. And in this, what I would do is, I would say that if a dot name is greater than b dot name, I would say return 1, else return -1. And after this, what I would say is response dot send student ARR. So what is this doing? This is sorting my student array on the basis of name, right? I'll write another function or another get request which would sort it by surname, and instead of name I'll say surname. I need to give a slash here, and I need to give a slash here as well, right? And because I have modified my code, for that code to run I need to restart. So what I'll do is I'll restart. Acha, what we'll also do is, let us write some filter as well. So I'll say app.get. In this I would say filter students by name. That is what I am saying now, right? In this I would again have request comma response, and this would again be a callback function. In this callback function, what I would do is, like if anywhere in my name that filter request, if it comes, whatever would be my search string, if that comes, I would return that particular object. That is, only those students which match that filter criteria, I would be returning them, right? So how to do that? I would simply say let FARR, it stands for filtered array, equals to, but before that we need to send some search string कि कौन सी string के basis पे आपको filter करना है. Let's say we are in some application, say Zomato application, and you type some name of a restaurant, say ABC. So all the restaurants which include the name ABC, I am not saying which starts with ABC, which would include this substring ABC, all those would be returned. So that is the functionality which we are going to implement. So for this, we would have a query parameter with search str, right? You'll come to know what this is. So I would say let str equals to request dot query dot search str, and I would use this str to filter. So I would say equals to, this is equals to student ARR dot filter. Now filter would take, say, a single parameter here, right? And in this what I am going to say is that if x dot name dot to lowercase dot includes my str dot to lowercase, I would return x. Now I hope that you know what this is, and because we have implemented the filter functions, I know that you guys had some reservations with this filter, but I guess you had solved them. So let's see. I would say response.send and I would pass FARR. So what I am doing here is I am only passing the filtered array depending upon the search string which we would be getting via the query parameters, right? And that search string would be searched in the name parameter of our students, right? So what we would get via this is some sub array, right, which contains that substring. That's what it is. So I am restarting my server now and let us test all these. So I say node index.js, my server is running and all these changes should come into effect now. Right now, first thing which I would do is I would add a few students. So I'll give Subhanshu an ID of 3, I'll click on send. Right, then I'll change the ID. We can always do a get request and check whether the data is present or not. Yes, it is present now. Right, then I'll change the ID, I'll say 2, I'll give Anagha, I'll say and office is S2P, right, ye bhi added successfully. I say 1, here I give Gandhar, I give surname, I click on send, okay, this is also added. I give 4, here I give Namita, here I give Mishra, I click on send, right, and when I do a get request, right, I should get all this data. Now this data is fine, that whatever data is present in the array, we are getting that data, right? So no rocket science in this. This is a simple get request. Now what I am going to do is, right, I'll be trying to execute this sort by name and sort by surname. So one is sort by name, right? What they should do is they should return me the student ARR in sorted order of their names. So currently what I am getting is Subhanshu, Anaga. So this is not at all sorted. What we need is we need it in sorted order of their names. So I would simply say I am writing a new request here. I am saying http://localhost 3000 slash, and what is my path? My path is sort by name. So I am saying sort by name and I'll click on send. So now what I got is in sorted order of their names. So I got Anaga first, then Gandhar, then Namita, and then Shubhanshu. Right? Instead of sort by name, if I give sort by surname, and if I click on send, then I got MPA, NPAT and VE. Yes, it is sorted by surname. Right, so this is the second sort which we have implemented. Third, which we are going to check is our filter function. So in filter, right, what we need to provide is some query parameter via which we would be sending on what basis you need to filter. Right, so let us try to find some characters which we will be able to send. Right, so we can get those characters, check for the characters here. Right, so we are filtering in by name. So if I give say AMI, right, so AMI is present only in Namita. So what I should get is only one record which has only one record of Namita here. Right, so what I would do is I would say http:// localhost 3000 slash, what is the name? It is filter students by name. So I'll copy this, I'll give here. Then I have to give a query parameter. So I'll give a question mark. And what is my query parameter? It is search str. So I will say question mark search str equals to AMI. and I'll click on send. So what I got is only one record, right, which has AMI in it. Right, now let's say if I give uh, uh, Anagha, so if I give ANA, so I should get Anagha. If I give Shubhanshu, SHU, so I should get Shubhanshu here. Right, so this is a basic filter functionality. Right, keep this thing in mind that what we are doing here is we are sending the search string as a query parameter, because this is a request which we would be requiring in case of from the client side, right? In that request we need to send what our search string is. So you can imagine it in a way that there is an input box in your Zomato application wherein you keep on typing, and as soon as you type, it fires a query to your API. API returns you an array and you display that array. Right? It is that kind of request or that kind of functionality.